Hello friends, this is Carmen. Welcome back to my channel. Look what I have set up on the kitchen counter. Yes, it is time to repot these beautiful succulents that I received more than a week ago from Next Gardener. This is my aloe partridge breast that I've had for a long time. Look how big it's getting. And it needs to go into a new pot, so I figured I'd do it now. But now some of these are going to go in new pots. Some of them I'm just simply changing out the soil to put in their soil and maybe a little bit of top dressing. So let's get to it. Okay, so I've got you looking down here, and I have here their succulent mix. And it's very, very light and airy. Very light. Now on the packaging it does say low fertilizer, so they didn't put a whole lot of fertilizer in this, so you can put in whatever fertilizer you want. I know Miracle-Gro succulent fertilizer is good, and I also use worm castings. So I need to get me some of that because I'm out of worm castings. But for right now, I am going to be using the liquid dirt when I water them. I'm having some liquid dirt mixed in with my water, and that will be the fertilizer I use on this. We're going to start off. I've got a pan here to catch the old soil, and we're going to start off with my favorite one, this Burro's tail. I'm going to put it in this container because that one fits into this little catch pot here that I have from this was from an urban jungle plant that I had in there. But as you know, with this we're gonna do really lightly. I am gonna save these to put them back in there. Just set them aside there. And I'm just going to loosen up the soil some because I'm assuming this is their own soil like this. So I don't want to get rid of all of it, but I do want to loosen up any of the dry soil at the top. And then I'll add some fresh soil. There's another little leaf I can propagate. Go, and I have this little scooper here that I can use for these types of small areas. I use this a lot. This came in a succulent, no, I think it was a bonsai kit, where I got this little scooper. I got these little tweezers and a brush and things like that that you can work on succulents or bonsai, basically anything small. So you can use it for, and I'll leave it linked below, you can use it for soil, but I'm also going to use it in today's video for the top dressing, because when you have small areas like this, you need to use small tools. And I'm just gonna set, you see that there? I'm gonna set the leaves that did fall off. See, this pot fits much better than that other orange one it was in. The orange one dropped down too far, but you see how it's already starting to trail off to the side? So eventually this will go in a hanging macrame. Here we have the pot that I got with them. Look how beautiful that is. Beautiful tray. And it comes with a mesh. And it came with this. I'm assuming it's to keep the mesh in place. It's a little sticker, looks like. But I'm just going to put the mesh right in there. Now this one, I think I'm going to put this neon breakers in here because it's already getting big. for this little pot. And I think if I lift it up just enough, I am going to remove some of the bottom leaves here. With this one, I can lean it a little bit. You see how it's leaning forward a little bit, and then put something right here. And I think something that's going to grow, something small that's going to grow, something like this. And I put the name of this one on the screen here because it is a long name that I cannot remember, but I'll put it on the screen, and I think I will put 2 of them in there. Okay, so I opened up one of the bags, and it says Bonsai Decor and Aquarium Pebbles, which I have used before. I have gone to the like PetSmart and gone to the aquarium section and gotten pebbles there. But these, gosh, they look like jelly beans. So I decided to use this multicolor one. And I'm going to use this little scoop. You see that? And just scoop those in there underneath. These will also protect the bottom leaves of both of these plants from getting too wet when you water it. See, that is. This is going to go out on my patio. I'll show you at the end where I've put all of them. But I love the color of the beads in there, the pebbles. Looks like I can use some more on this side. Okay, so next we're going to do this very large dusty rose. And I'm going to leave her in this 6-inch pot. What I'm going to do is, let me just pop her out. She's a bit dry, so I'm going to refresh some of her soil and clean up the bottom edges here. And you can see it'll be evident once I start taking some of this drier soil off. So she's further up now, and with some of these Echeverias, you'll notice how she has, this Dusty Rose has a powdery look to it on the petals, and that is a protective coat that they have that helps protect the petals from the sun exposure, from sunburning. You don't want to touch the petals or wipe that powdery coat off because it doesn't grow back. It doesn't come back onto the petals. So if you're going to be handling these, you try to handle them from underneath or from the sides, because if you touch the top, it won't come off. Like there's an area, let's see if you can see it, right on this petal. You see that darker area I may have touched it there and taken off that powdery substance, and it won't come back there. So now this one, because it was a little bit dry, when I water it, I'm actually going to bottom water it so it'll soak up as much water as it needs. Since it's a little drier, if I water it along the edge here, it may just water right through and it won't really soak into the ball of the roots. You don't want to water from the top. You don't want water settling in there. That will help you avoid root rot if it has water in there. Also, if you're watering in the morning and the sun hits it, that may burn the leaves also. So you want to either bottom water or water from below here at the edge of the pot. Okay, this one here, this little sedum, let's see what we got underneath here. Now this one isn't too bad. This one I can feel is still moist. These have all been out onto the patio, and I have a screen in patio, and it had been raining the last week. Rained so hard that the water came through the screen and splattered onto the table where these were at. So some of these got a little bit of rainwater on them, which is good. But this soil is not hard. It's good. I'm gonna keep this one here, just kind of refresh the soil and maybe lift it up a little bit, because these do grow out. You don't necessarily have to take all of these out and put them in all brand new pots, ceramic pots. I mean, you can if you want to, you know, put them in terracotta pots or something. But if you're like me, where you haven't quite decided which pots to put them all in, or you may not have some on hand, simply look at the soil you have that's already in the pot and see if it just needs some refreshing, meaning a little bit more soil. Add some good soil and give it a watering. Maybe lift it up a little bit like I did with this one and the Dusty Rose, where it's not sitting so far down inside of the pot that it's been growing in the last few weeks or months. So this one is a little bit higher. It'll start growing over. I'm not going to put any pebbles on this until I put it into a larger pot, but I'm gonna simply enjoy its vibrancy and these little petals that it's giving off. I still got some fuzzies on it from when I unpacked it. Maybe we can do a little bit of this. Two Echeverias and a Crassula, and maybe tilt the Crassula a little bit this way so it'll grow out, and let the Echeverias right there. And that way I have 3 in one pot and take advantage of the pot. This is another one, the matching one to the one that they sent me. So here, this one is the Bonsai Gritty Mix that I'm gonna open up. And they come double sealed. They have this big bag. And then they have this bag. Now you see the difference here? This is a much shinier, larger pebble. You see that? And this is a much, like the package says, a grittier mix and smaller. So I'm going to use it for this one. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Get it in focus for you here. Look how pretty that is. Okay, so now we're gonna do one that I didn't get from Next Gardener. If you've been with me for a little while, you know this Aloe partridge breast. Look how big this baby is getting. And these were growing before I left my apartment in February. And now it's got another one, and it's leaning so much that this little 5-inch terracotta pot cannot hold it anymore. I have this, excuse me, ceramic pot from TJ Maxx that I had purchased on clearance. It was serving purposes for me as a cash flow for a long, long time. But I just, before I came out and filmed, or came in and filmed, I drilled a hole in it. And I'm going to use it for this baby. I'm going to pot it directly into this because it needs a little bit bigger pot. Oh, look how much better it looks. I'll give you a good look once I get it out there. Oh, there's a little. Okay, so here is one that I do want to put in a new pot. And the pot that I had the aloe in is what I'm going to put it in, because this one looks like it's growing really well. Let's see if I can get it to focus here. And it's got all sorts of little beads growing, and the larger ones look really healthy. So I want to put it in something that it's going to be in for a little while, for quite a while. So this 5-inch pot here will be great. So And you see how, since I spread it out a little bit, look, it's already hanging over the edge. But this will be in here for a while, and it has plenty of room to grow. This one. Okay, we're on the home stretch here. I've only got a few left. So I have this 6-inch nursery pot, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna place this Sedum and this Echeveria in it, because I like the idea of putting, you know, multiples in one pot instead of having a bunch of little pots. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so this little Haworthia here, isn't that pretty? Look, it's getting a bud right on the very end there. Teeny tiny, but it's getting a bud. It's in a little 2-inch container. It's got incredible roots. Look at this, just incredible. I have thought about putting it in with another plant, but I think I'm gonna upgrade it into its own little pot, because these do grow fast, and it's got great roots, so it looks like it's gonna be doing a lot of growing. So I'm gonna upgrade it to its own little 4-inch pot. And Haworthias are wonderful succulents to have inside, because they don't need a whole lot of light. So if you have an area that's like medium light, these will do good. I have a zebra Haworthia that I'm gonna change the soil out next, but this Haworthia Coarctata, this one is gonna go out in the patio, because I do want it to get some sun because of this bloom that it's growing. And these last two, I'm just simply going to switch out the soil or add some more soil. This is the Haworthia Zebra. It looks like it had bloomed already, because here's an old stalk there, but it just needs a little bit of cleaning out of some of the rocks and stuff in the center there. Nice. I love Haworthias, especially these zebras. Look how nice these two look. And they're just in plain nursery pots, but they're so healthy. And then the gritty mix top dressing there really just makes them look even nicer. Now my last one is this Echeveria. This one's nice and moist. I'm just going to change the soil. and it's got quite a few dead leaves under there. Gorgeous, and it'll stay in this pot for quite a while. Okay, so we are outside in the screened-in patio. Let me show you where I put some of them. Here's the aloe. Sorry for the noise, there's a big street behind us. And I do still need to put tags on these. Here's the sedum and the echeveria. Here's the large Echeveria, Dusty Rose. And here's the Burro's tail, string of beads, pearls rather. Here are the Haworthias and the Sedum. And I have my other cacti that I brought with me. Lucas has some peppers that he's growing here. Isn't that right, Rosie? You better not eat any of those because all of those are hot. Lucas likes hot peppers. And then over here are the other Echeverias. And let me see, it's kind of dark. Here's some Hoyas that I have. I do still need to do a proper tour of my patio. As you can see, it is a hot mess because I don't have a potting bench yet. I only have this large 6-foot table that I had in my plant room, and it takes up so much room. I really want to get a smaller potting bench so I can fit more stuff in here. But this is what I'm working with now. Little by little, I am going to be taking more stuff in, like these Hoyas, Sansieverias, and leaving outside my succulents and cacti. But it's coming together little by little. Thanks again, Next Gardener, for sending these to me along with the soil and the top dressing. I'm loving how it looks. Remember, friends, you can get 15% off with the code that I'm going to put right here, and there is a link below that you can still use that code. I don't think there's an expiration date on it, that you can get 15% off on your full cart, whatever you buy there. So I am loving how they look. I'll keep you updated on how they look. If you enjoyed this video, friends, as much as Rosie has, then please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Click that like button, and if you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe, and you can keep up with all of my plants and rebuilding my collection of succulents and tropical plants from my move from Arizona to Florida. Thanks so much, friends. Have a blessed day. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.